Since before recorded history, the people of Britain have had first-hand experience of the strange and unusual. Spirits who haunt ancient castles, stories of werewolves and banshees roaming the countryside, and fantastic creatures like gnomes, fairies and pixies, all firmly embedded in our native folklore. This cultural experience makes us uniquely qualified to research these types of phenomena and help us find the truth of the reality that surrounds us. So sit back and relax as your hosts, Irene Allen Block and Mark Johnson, take you on a journey through this strange realm and together help us find the answers to the mysteries that lie just beyond our grasp. Welcome to Paranormal UK Radio.
Welcome to Paranormal UK Radio, the flagship show of the Paranormal UK Radio Network. I'm your host, Irene Allen Block, and with me is Marky Johnson.
Hey, she got my name right this time. Yay! Applause all around.
Clap, 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 clap.
So, Irene, how you doing? It's been a while since you missed last week, and we were off the first few weeks after that. So, real quick, how were your holidays?
I haven't been on since before Christmas. Do you know that?
Nope, I know that.
Yeah, how many weeks is that? God knows. But thank God for Andy Mercer. That's all I can say. Thank God for Andy Mercer stepping in. Thank you, Andy.
So, how was your holiday?
Brilliant. I was bombarded with kids during the holiday, which absolutely makes a Christmas and New Year. When you've got the grandchildren down, there's nothing like it. You know, the whole place is wrecked. The whole place is in disarray. You know, food, there's no food left. They just go through it all. They go through the cupboards. And then my son came as well, and he's just as bad. So... No, it was great. It was great. I enjoyed it.
Let's all go to Grandma's and raid the cupboards.
That's it. They always do. They always do, Mark. You know, even if they run out of food up there in London, they come all the way down here, see me, and they always they go in the larder, they fill up bags, they take them back, you know. Nothing goes to waste in this house, nothing. But since then, what else I've been doing? Oh, new kitchen. The new kitchen.
So you
costs a lot of money.
So you got a brand new kitchen installed. Oh yeah, kitchen's
Well, no, it's
expensive.
still being done. You know, it's taking weeks, but it is being done bit by bit. It's coming together, and it's fantastic.
Well, lovely.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Well, before we get into talking with our guest tonight, before we get into introducing our guest, I wanted to bring up a couple of announcements. One being that we did break this last week, and we're going to mention it again. The return of Spirit Rescue International is back, and we mentioned it last week when you weren't here, and I'm glad that you are here, that you can help mention to people. You know, SRI operated with your baby. You've had it operating for a couple of decades and helping people all over the world with their paranormal issues. And you took a couple of years hiatus, basically retired, but after we discussed it, we decided to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's right.
So SRI, Spirit Rescue International, is now up and running, and we have our website at www.spiritrescueint.com, INT for international, of course. So spiritrescueinternational.com. If people anywhere in the world are having issues with the paranormal in their home or business, and they're experiencing issues, whether it's even if it's negative, or even if it's something they just want a better understanding of, they can contact us with our team of researchers. We do have the ability to work remotely and help people anywhere around the world, absolutely free of charge. And I'm pretty excited about it. It feels right that we're bringing it back at this time.
We will also have teams that will go out to people's homes if necessary.
Yes, we make arrangements depending on where it's located. Our own teams, or we'll network with teams that we trust.
That's right.
To go on site, and but we also have people, researchers, psychics, and remote viewers who work remotely and can help tune in to any location. I mean, when you were running it before, I think the farthest away you ran, you did a case was New Zealand.
New Zealand, from Wales to New Zealand.
Right.
Was the furthest I've done, yeah.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. So we just wanted to make that announcement to everyone that Spirit Rescue International. If you want more information, go to our website, spiritrescueint.com. And there we go.
Okay. Brilliant. Yes, it's back. It's back.
Much to the chagrin of some people.
Sorry? What did you say?
Oh, nothing. I was just being, snarky.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll listen to that later on.
I said
right.
it's back, much to the chagrin of one or two individuals.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I understand that now. Okay, fine. We'll forget that part.
Okay.
All right, then. So our guest tonight, Mark.
And yes, who was our guest tonight?
Come on, then. Who's our guest tonight? Mark Vernon. It's Mark Vernon.
Mark. Yeah, Mark Vernon, welcome to the program. And we're going to have to find out a way to differentiate which Mark she's talking to tonight.
It'll be Marky for you and Mark for Mark.
Okay, I guess we can live with that, can we?
Yeah, so my Mark is Marky.
Okay.
Or Mark 1 and Mark 2.
I haven't been called that since I was...
Carl's done it, Mark 1, Mark 2.
I haven't been called Marky since I was like 5, so...
Okay. Well, all right then. So that's what you're going to be, Marky, tonight. If I want anything, it's a Marky. And Mark Vernon, you'll be Mark.
Okay, got it. So Mark Vernon, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Now, you are a paranormal researcher, and but you have a very unique set of skills and how you approach the paranormal. And for people who aren't familiar with you, tell us a bit about your story, how you got into researching the paranormal, and what's different about you.
I started in the paranormal at a very young age, about the age of 10. When I first, what should I call it? Vision haunting. I saw a monk walking down a garden path in the front of me, and he was.
So this was an apparition you saw?
Yeah, sorry, that's the word I was trying to think of. I couldn't get it.
Yeah, you're like me. Forget the big words, darling. Forget them. Apparition of a monk, and he was walking down the path in front of you.
Yeah, he was walking a dog. I was that close to him. I could actually see what I thought was a lead at first, but it was actually a piece of rope. And I was that close. It was the same kind of rope the monk had around his waist. So I could see that. I watched him walk down this garden path for about 30 yards, and he just vanished into thin air right in front of me.
You know, that's funny you should say that, because once when I was about 7 years old, maybe a bit older, in the village I lived in, my grandmother lived up the road, up the lane, and I was allowed to go up and see her. So I was going up to my grandmother's one day, and as I was walking up there, this monk came towards me. But obviously at 7 years old, in the 1950s, I never even knew what a monk was, but I do now know that it was a monk. And this monk actually came towards me, and there was no monasteries or anything, or any ruins of monasteries ever around that area. But I saw a monk. That's where, as well.
Well, because of what I saw that day, I'm interested in monks. They are my favourites, ghost monks and spirit things like that. Anything I do with monks, I just love.
Yeah, it's great. And, you go to an old monastery or something or other, you're just looking out for the monk, aren't you?
Well, some of my favourite places are old churches and things like that. One of my last investigations was, they call it the Demon Church in Lincolnshire.
Demon Church? Why do they call it a demon church?
It's because it was abandoned, and apparently there's been satanic rituals being done there, animal sacrifices and stuff.
Over the years.
Yeah, they call it St. Bluffs.
St. Bluffs.
Yeah, St. Bluffs.
Bluffs.
Yeah, St. Bluffs. It's known as St. Skibrook Church as well.
What is it, a ruin or?
It's not actually a ruin, it's a proper graveyard. It's still tended to and stuff, but the church is abandoned. There's no doors on there. I mean, it's easy access. On certain times of the year, they do have security there.
Yeah.
But on our last visit, there's now in place security cameras. So obviously they're watching people that are going in there.
Yeah.
To stop all the nasty things going on.
Is the graveyard now disused,
It's not. Well, it's still being tended to. Someone must be looking after it. I don't know who.
But no new burials in?
No burials. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's in a little forest surrounded by a stream.
Yeah.
It's a great place to investigate.
Because I remember when I was a kid up visiting my grandfather in Glasgow, there was an old church near to where he lived. And I remember him saying that they have to leave before they can actually demolish the church. The last burial had to be 100 years previous, so that there was no living surviving relatives that would have known that person. So maybe this is one of the reasons why there's no burials getting put in there now.
Yeah,
they're waiting.
Yeah, I've heard that story.
Yeah.
And they've got to wait a period of time until they actually are allowed to dig everything up.
And then they'll either sell that off or demolish it and build a block of flats or God knows what else. But so this old churchyard is pretty active, is it? Or is it the church that's active or the churchyard?
All the activity I've experienced in there is actually being inside the church.
Yeah.
I've actually got it on video where I was by myself and I felt a little hand grab me because there's a story about a young boy falling out of the bell tower and killing himself.
Oh.
It's supposed to be a true story. But when I was actually trying to get him to communicate with me, I actually got grabbed by a little hand in the pub, but luckily I've caught it on film.
In the pulpit, did you say?
No, walking through the middle of the church.
Oh.
I was trying to make contact with the little guy, and he grabbed my hand. He held my hand, but on the when you see it on camera, it's in infrared. You see my hand flash twice, and then you see me react to it.
Oh.
It was like something grabbing my hand, and obviously you can see me look at it.
So you obviously felt it then.
It felt like little fingers grabbing my hand.
Yeah, it did actually feel like you were holding a child's hand.
Yeah, it actually grabbed my little hand. It's like it's one of the best experiences I've ever experienced. But when it actually happens to you at the time, you don't actually realise what's just happened.
Yeah.
It's only when you review the footage and think, hang on, that's when I thought I got grabbed.
Yeah.
But I've actually caught it on film, and you can see my whole hand light up twice. When it happened. It was in the newspapers and everything. And it was.
Yeah, you've been in the newspapers quite a lot recently, haven't you? With various things. Getting quite known in the newspapers, Mark. What about the monk? So is there a monk there at this churchyard then?
It's supposed to be haunted by a monk. It's supposed to roam the grounds and everything like that. I mean, I must say I've never come across him yet.
No.
So but I'm still hoping, because it is one of my favourite places, and we do intend on going back soon.
Yeah. So, do you know how old this church is?
It's 1700s or something like that. I think the last time it was a proper church, when there were services held there, I think it was 1974 or something like that.
Was it?
And then they shut it down.
So it's not that old then, because majority of churches go back to Norman times, don't they? The one in my village was Norman. Well, actually, it was earlier than that, because when they were doing some work in it, they found frescoes in there which dated back to even earlier than the Norman time. You know, so a lot of churches in this country usually are Norman.
Yeah. I do like churches and stuff like that. They are some of my favourite haunts.
Yeah.
Basically, I just like to get in there and film. I'm not one of these people who go into a lot of background history and find out what day it was built. If someone says it's haunted, I'll go in there and check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, while I've been in there is a crypt in there.
Yeah.
I visited it about 8 months ago, and it was there. But on the last visit, it had been damaged. They tried to dig it up. So it's an area of the church where there's a lot of activity.
Yeah.
Because every time I've been in there, stones have been thrown. And I'm with a group at the moment called Soul Reapers, and there was 4 of us there on the last visit, and we did actually get stones thrown at us. It's fantastic when it happens.
Yeah. So there's poltergeist activity there as well.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely lots going on. But the day we went, it was so cold, we couldn't stop that long because it was actually freezing.
Yeah.
Wasn't right good conditions.
So you go there quite a few times, and there's been vandals getting in. Like you say, somebody's been tampering with the crypt.
Yeah, but like I said, they've got security cameras there now, so obviously they're watching. It's like times of the year, like Halloween, they'll have security guards there. I mean, all the security guards know me. I mean, I've been that many times. We're on first term names kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, they don't want any sacrificial rituals going on
it's horrible.
now, do they?
Well, yeah. There's animal sacrifices taking place in there and stuff like that, and I just can't understand why people do these kind of things to these beautiful buildings, because it is a beautiful building, and it's in such a lovely location. Yeah,
I saw it on one of your videos.
Yeah. Well, we've done a couple of videos there, and we are planning on going back. But like I say, I mean, the church have now got security cameras in there now, so if you go in there and try and do any damage or anything like that, you're going to be filmed. So.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a good thing. It is a good thing that they have done that, you know. I remember the days when church doors were always open. Now you can walk up to a church, they're locked.
Yeah. You
know?
It's a shame, really.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful buildings out there to be explored.
Oh, there are. There definitely is. Yeah. So what else have you done then since then? I know what you've done. I do know what you've done. You've been to 30 East Drive, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Pontefract. No?
No, I haven't. No, one of my team members, Cal Thompson.
Oh, she went there?
Yeah, well, I did 30 East Drive a few years ago.
Oh. No, I thought you'd recently been to 30 East Drive.
No, one of my team members, Cal Thompson, he's part of Soul Reapers.
What's that, male or female? Sorry.
He's male.
Oh, male. Yeah, I thought you said Carol, you see. That's why I queried it. Okay. So did he find anything? What do you know if he found anything there? Because there is a lot of talk about it's not haunted. It is haunted. It's meant to be the worst place in the UK, the worst house in the UK for ghosts. And then other people go in and say there isn't a bloody thing there. So, and then again, we have the monk, don't we? We have the monk of Pontefract haunting the place or something or other. I don't know. I haven't been there. I haven't really shown any interest in going there either. To me, you know.
Well, I can tell you a lot about 30 East Drive. There's a lot of people say it's not haunted. But
Yeah.
I can assure you, it's one of the most haunted houses I've ever been in.
But is it haunted, or is it the fact that all these people going in there, all these paranormal groups going in there to investigate, are bringing in stuff of their own, all their own fodder behind them, or one thing or another, that's causing activity in the house?
No, I think there'll always be activity there. It's one of them kind of houses. It's hard to explain. I do know there's a lot of fakery going on there.
Yeah, like people falling down the stairs with falling up the stairs with belts wrapped around their waist. Yeah,
and throwing marbles and things like that. But at the time I've been there, I have actually experienced and filmed apparitions.
You have?
Yes, definitely. And it is truly haunted, without a shadow of a doubt. But like I said, there's a lot of people involved with the property that do fakery.
Yeah, which is a shame, because if a place is genuinely haunted, and these people going, well, this is it. These television programs and everything, they've got to produce for the television, as Mark could tell you. That's correct, isn't it, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
So if they can't produce, they will make something.
Yeah, and
Marky.
Yes, I hear Marky. That's me. That's the sad fact of most of these television programs, and it's a sad fact of all these other groups too. People coming into a location, and that's the double-edged sword we deal with a paranormal location. You have some place like 30 East Drive, which has this reputation for being one of the most haunted houses in Britain, and yet everybody wants to go there, and everybody wants to go and experience the paranormal, and they come in and their own energy and their expectations, and they bring stuff in with them, or they stir something up, or they may open new doorways and other stuff comes in. It's so hard to control. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want places like that investigated, because God knows, hey, I would love to investigate it. At the same time, when you get a location that has so much attention and people coming into it specifically to deal with the paranormal, how much of it are we affecting and changing what's really going on there?
The thing is, with 30 East Drive, a lot of people go there looking for the wrong thing. They're all expecting the Black Monk of Pontefract, but there's a lot more there than just the Black Monk of Pontefract. And believe me, he is real, without a shadow of a doubt, because I've actually met him.
Yeah, but there's been no actual written proof on him, has there?
There's lots of stories and things like that. I mean, there's supposed to be a well in the front room.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be thrown down there, and
yeah. So they built a council house on top of a well in the front room.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's what was there before the house was built, because there is a stream running under the house, and where the house was used to be an orchard.
Yeah.
If you go back and have a look at the old maps and stuff, I know people that have sent off to Kew Gardens. It's a place where you can buy these old maps and stuff from, research the history of the place.
Yeah.
And there was an orchard there beforehand where one of these murders was supposed to be committed.
But as far as I know at the moment, it was because there is no actual written history of this man, that it's folklore. But then again, folklore's got to start somewhere, hasn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah, well
these stories are handed down from word to mouth, and all this. And eventually, it gets into our generation, and like you say, you've seen it. You have actually seen the Black Monk of Pontefract.
I have actually seen a monk in that house.
You said you've met the monk. Did you share a pint? Is he a nice bloke?
No.
This is the sort of thing I get, Mark. Take no notice from Marky.
This is one of the monk. People think there's just one monk there, but there's not. There's two.
Is there any history of a monastery or something in the area?
Probably in the centre of Pontefract. I don't know. Pontefract Castle is well known, big castle.
Yeah.
That's just been up. That's just been open to the public. They've been renovating it and kind of thing and sprucing it up. But
quite a few of our friends. There's Paul Stevenson from Haunted Magazine. I'll give him a plug there to Haunted Magazine. You owe me one, Paul Stevenson. He's been there with Lee Roberts and their team, and I think they did get some proof of something or other there, but exactly what I don't know. But I'll have to ask him. But he owes me a plug.
Well, like I said, members, Cal Thompson. He was there a couple of weeks ago, and we've just been in the newspapers for it. He's actually been in the coal shed and he took a photograph.
Is that the coal shed that a certain lady was in with one of our comedians once on a certain program?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the coal shed where Joe Pritchard, who used to live there in the 1970s, it was alleged he was attacked by the Black Monk in there. It was in the film. Have you seen the film When the Lights Go Out?
No.
Watch it. It's about 30 East Drive.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a guy called Bill Bungie. Bill Bungie actually owns the house. He's the film producer.
Yeah.
I actually know him. So I spoke to him a few times.
Okay. And your friend, when he was there, he got proof, did he? Did he get proof of anything?
Well, he was doing a bit of skyring. He was taking video footage and photographs in the mirror in the coal shed. And he had the door closed behind him. And something manifested behind him, and he took a picture of it.
Yeah, through the mirror.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not bothered what. Me, it looks like a big monk.
You'll be surprised what you can get when you take a photograph through a mirror. I've done that, and I got something that was, well, to this day, Marky and I can't explain it. We cannot explain it. All we can think about, all we can call it, is the time traveller. But it was a photograph I took in the mirror in a bathroom of a house.
Yep, and there's a third person there that doesn't belong there.
No, and there was only me and my friend Lorna that was in there at the time. And you can see Lorna standing back from me. You can see her, and this thing goes between the two of us, and it's a man with a helmet. And he looks like he's running. Well, this is only a small bathroom, so he must have... I never saw him. He was on the photograph. He's in the running position as if he's going at speed. So it's like, the only way I can imagine it is he's shot through the bathroom door, straight down through the bathroom, out the wall the other end. There he is. I've got him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's something interdimensional. Now, Mark, would you say that you're sensitive or psychic?
I'm careful in how I describe myself because I've been described in so many different ways.
We know the feeling, and it's hard for the English language or spoken language in general is so limiting that when you say a label, people have a certain expectation of that, and it's not exactly true. That's why we can never really classify Irene with what she does, but would you say that you are more in tune to some things than other people?
I always say I'm a bloke who hears voices. Sometimes I can hear spirit. I don't hear them all the time, but if I'm in a haunted location and I can, yes, I can hear them.
So you're clairaudient.
Well, the closest thing I can call it is clairaudience.
Yeah.
Because I do have a spirit that works with me, and I do hear her 99% of the time. Yeah,
we wanted to get round to her actually, but I think what we'll do is save that for a little bit later on. What do you think, Marky?
Yeah, we'll bring her. We'll talk about your spirit friend in the second part of the show. Let's talk about some of your other research that you're doing right now. Now, how old were you when you first started going out and doing paranormal research?
I've always been doing it on and off. It's because I'm getting into my twilight years now. I'm 22, 52 really.
If you're
makes
in your
me prehistoric.
Yeah, well, yeah, you are. No, I'm only 2 years ahead of you there, so let's not get into the Twilight shit too quickly, okay?
Well, like I said, over the last 10 years, I've been finding I've had more time to get into it. Spend more time in the paranormal, studying it, visiting locations and stuff. About 7 years ago, I got involved in a case. I was stood in a pub having a drink at the bar, and obviously paranormal is my love. I was talking to a friend, and a young lady overheard me talking, and she said, "Oh, I've got a haunted house." We chatted, and I said, "Oh, can I come round and have a look?" And that's when I really got involved in it, because what I found in this house was unbelievable. I've got a few videos on YouTube. Some of them are called The Haunted Cellar.
Yeah.
And this is where I met my spirit friend, who we're going to talk about later on.
Okay.
But I spent 6 years in that cellar, sat in there with the lights out, communicating with them, talking to them, getting to know them.
So what did she actually, besides your friend, spirit friend, what actually did she have in the cellar?
Well, basically, she told me while she was in the house by herself, she was hearing noises and things like things being thrown around in the cellar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I actually managed to get in there by myself, and while I was in there, she was going to put the kettle on, make a cup of tea, but she'd run out of milk, so she went to the shop to get some milk and left me in the house. So I went upstairs and went into one of the bedrooms. I was doing some EVP recordings, on the digital tape recorder.
Yeah.
And while I was in there, I heard the front room door close, and I heard a man walk up the stairs.
Yeah.
And stop outside the bedroom where I was, but the door was shut. And at the time, I didn't really know her that well. I thought it was a boyfriend.
So you're standing there waiting in her bedroom for a man to walk through the door?
To walk through the door, thinking it was her boyfriend, but she'd never told me about a boyfriend or nothing. So I said, "Excuse me."
I'd like to have known what you were going to say.
Well, I said, "Excuse me." So I opened the door, and there was no one there. My name's Mark. I'm a friend of your girlfriend, kind of thing. She's asked me to have a look at the house, but there was no one there. It was only at a later date I actually found out the previous occupier of the house.
Yeah.
His name was Jacob Epperbaum.
Akbar.
Epperbaum.
Oh, Epperbaum. That's a proper northern name, is it?
Well, it sounds kind of Polish to me, something like that. But we have actually checked the records. His name's come up on a few EVPs.
Yeah.
But when we actually looked into it, I told her what had happened, and she said, "Oh yeah, I heard him walking up and down the stairs all the time." The previous occupant had actually died of an heart attack right outside the bedroom door.
Oh, that's why he stopped there. Yeah.
Yeah, and he used to use the cellar as a bit of a workshop.
Yeah.
So he used to do a bit of work down there. Now I've actually got him on video, audio, walking through the cellar when we were doing a seance down there. You can hear footsteps walking through the cellar.
Yeah.
And up the cellar stairs and up into the building. But some of the stuff I've filmed in there is amazing.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so is that the only spirit that she had in there? Besides your friend, obviously, which we're going to talk about later.
The haunted cellar, it was kind of a special place because it was behind a spiritualist church. I don't know whether that had anything to do with it. But when I was in there for the 6 years, I used to hear lots and lots of spirits. sometimes you'd hear them once or twice, and then you'd never hear from them again. It's like a crossroads.
So, yeah, it's like something they were moving through, yeah.
I had a theory. It was like a bus stop. They were coming in and then move on to somewhere else.
Yeah, that happens in this house quite a lot.
Yeah, it's really weird. But then you had your regular spirits there that even animals, we used to hear cats and things and everything down there.
Yeah. So you spent 6 years in this lady's cellar.
Yeah, only because I knew what was there.
Wish I could keep a man in my cellar for 6 years. No, I'm joking.
Well, while I was down there, obviously because I'm used to going to haunted locations, stuff like that. The things I was getting down there, it was I'd never heard anything like it, and I got friendly with a woman who lived at the house, so she'd let me in every day. Sometimes I'd stop in there from 20 minutes to 8 hours at a time. I would actually sleep in there.
Yeah.
And get camp chairs and stuff because what was going on. I was totally fascinated with the place.
So how did it end up? Has she still got them there? Did she move or were they cleared out of there or what?
No, it's one of these places where you couldn't clear it out.
Right,
There's so much going on there.
So it's still an active place.
Yeah, but she couldn't handle it. She had to move out.
Mark, I see on your Facebook that you're an ex-mercenary.
No, that's just a joke.
Oh, is it? Oh, God. Okay, right.
I was in the Scouts once, but I got thrown out for having monkey knees.
All right, Mark, you're an ex-Boy Scout. They're not easily scared, are they? They don't get easily frightened, ex-Boy Scout. Have you ever been in a place that has really shite you up?
No, I don't get scared.
Nah.
Not with anything with the paranormal. I've got a different outlook with the paranormal than most people. I think paranormal should be fun. Go out there and enjoy yourself. Don't be scared. There's nothing to be scared of.
Mark, you've disappointed me. I really thought you were a mercenary. You know, I've told people I've got a mercenary coming on the show. Good job, too. I didn't advertise. People, I got an ex-Boy Scout on my show. And I love it.
Monkey knees.
Hey, your co-host is an Eagle Scout.
Oh! And I bet you both done a bobber job, didn't you? I was a brownie. I got thrown out of that as well because around the campfire I ate everybody else's sausages. I got expelled from the brownies.
Well, you know when a Cub Scout becomes a man.
When
he eats his first brownie.
Oh. Okay, so become a man when they eat their first cake. I know, I'm getting confused here now on brownies because I thought a brownie was a biscuit or a cake or something like that.
I thought it was a biscuit, but...
But there is another thing called a brownie over here, and if you're eating that, Mark, you need a slap on the back of the head. Okay, all right.
Okay, now that the show is completely off the rails. Yes, it's just another week here at Paranormal UK Radio.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the show. All right, then. So, you're not easily frightened then?
No, because I get used to it. I've been in so many situations where I've been by myself.
Yeah.
But I know I've got a bodyguard, so I've got nothing to be scared of because I know I'm being looked after, you see. So.
Yeah, and we're coming back to her in the second half of the show, everybody. This bodyguard is going to amaze you.
Well, you know, I'm with you there, Mark, in that the paranormal doesn't frighten me. I can have things happen around me, and it doesn't bother me a bit. Now, that doesn't mean I don't get creeped out, like traveling, walking down an abandoned insane asylum hallway at 3 a.m. to go fetch a camera. can give you a little bit of the willies, but I can sit down in a basement all by myself or in a cemetery, something in a room with all the lights out. It doesn't bother me a bit.
No, it doesn't bother me either. Nothing like that bothers me. Do you know what bothers me? Walking through this village at night time, this village at 9 o'clock at night, there's not a light anywhere except in my house. Everybody's in bed to sleep. And if I walk through this village in the dark that night, late at night, that's the only thing that scares me. But it's not the dead that scare me, it's the living.
Oh, yeah, the living scare me more than the dead ever will.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, it's pretty sad. You got to watch out for other people who bring you harm. Ghosts, big deal. Bring them on.
Yeah, that's true. So, what other sort of places? So, poltergeist activity. Have you had an awful lot of poltergeist activity in places that you've actually been investigating?
Yeah, I get a lot of people contacting me. When they're suffering from things like that.
Yeah.
What I do is I travel the country. I'll go anywhere if I know I'm going to get something on film. I was involved in a house in Chesterfield not so long ago, and I've actually seen things moving in front of me. TV controls sliding across a table in front of me, and to see stuff like that, to actually see it with your eyes. It just gives me a buzz every time it happens to me. I just love it. But what I do, I travel the country helping people out suffering from these paranormal problems. I don't charge people. I don't charge them a penny. I don't charge them petrol money and nothing. I mean, all I want is to get it on film. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I just love it. I just love the paranormal.
Yeah, well... getting a bit of feedback there. But yeah, we all do, don't we? That's why we're all doing what we do, I've been working with the paranormal now since God was a little boy. I must be one of the oldest paranormal investigators that actually walked this earth, when you think about it. And now we're doing the show. Once you're into the paranormal, once the paranormal gets hold of you, you're just taking over. You're just taking over with it.
Well, that's because, there's the fascination. A lot of people get into the paranormal wanting to try to find answers to life after death. Do we survive the physical death? Do our spirits survive? And yet, those of us who've been doing it for so long, those questions go by the wayside, because then we start looking into the really high-level, complicated questions, because we start to realize that not only there is life after death, but there is so much strangeness around us everywhere we look that we've been trained to ignore. Our world is so much more bizarre than we realize because we're told to ignore it. It's your imagination. You're dreaming. Everything from multiple dimensions, time slips. Different types of interdimensional beings. Not just spirits, but other types of entities, and strange things. I mean, your ring, for example. And what surrounds that.
You better say that better, Mark. My ring.
Your ring. Well.
Yes. Well,
the demon ring. Demon ring.
My silver ring.
Yes, your silver ring. This must be a British thing that I'm not getting, so.
Well, it's a bit like your brownie, darling.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, the demon ring, which we had posted on our webpage on Demon Ring of Amalfitani. Go to Facebook, check it out. Strange things like that defy explanation, and yet we're discovering very real, measurable phenomenon. So, again, for me, it goes way beyond the whole life after death or trying to communicate with spirits. It's trying to understand the mysteries of the universe, at least, from my perspective.
Yeah. I quite agree.
Before I got into all this, I mean, I was probably like everybody else. I was scared of dying. I used to think about dying.
Yeah.
Hated the fact I was going to die. But because of what I've experienced and what I've seen, I don't give it a second thought now. I can't wait to get there. I know it sounds a bit silly, but I'm not scared of dying no more.
Well, there is something. Whether it's the afterlife, but there's something that carries on after we've gone.
Without a shadow of a doubt, there's something afterwards. It's not the end when we die. I don't know. People say it's the beginning. I mean, I don't know about that. But what I'm saying is there's something afterwards. I'm 100% certain there's something afterwards.
Yes, some sort of energy. It survives.
Oh,
I don't think we really know the truth until we actually die ourselves. Don't matter how much we look for it, I don't think we're going to find it, to tell you the truth. The people who have these near-death experiences, they come back and they say that they've seen a tunnel, they went through the tunnel, they've been here, they've been there and everything. I don't doubt them. Maybe they have. But then again, the medical side says it's something to do with the brain shutting down. So, really, until we actually pop our socks, for Mark is... Marky now. Pop air socks, Mark.
Pop air
socks means die. Okay?
Take a dirt nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So until we actually pop our socks, I don't think we're going to know the actual truth of really what goes on or what happens,
Probably not, but because I think, again, we are limited by our human brains.
That's our intelligence.
There's only so much we can comprehend. And, it's like trying to have an ant understand quantum physics. It's just there's certain things that we can understand, we could figure out, and other things that are just beyond our understanding because we haven't evolved enough yet to understand it. Things that fly in the face of physics, that fly in the face of rational convention. A spirit suddenly appearing in front of you. Where the hell did that come from? How can it walk through a wall? It's something that we're still trying to figure out, which in a lot of ways, I think through our research, we have come up with some explanations for it in terms of, time slips and other types of interdimensional types of phenomenon, but still there's a lot of it we don't understand. EVPs, I'm still trying to figure out EVPs when you get these voices that come through, and not even just the intelligent ones that seem to be answering a question, just the random voices or screams or words, the things that come through. Where is that coming from? It wasn't heard. It wasn't picked up in the environment, yet it appears on the recorder. How can that happen?
Well, it's the same with AVPs, though, isn't it? Audible voice phenomena. You hear a voice. But is it like pareidolia of the ear holes, where, like with your eyes, you see something or whatever, and your brain actually fits it into a face, because faces are the most common things that you actually see. So is that something the same? You hear a noise and suddenly you're putting the words to it. And it's the same with EVPs. Some of these EVPs to me sound totally different to what it does to other people. They swear blind it's saying one thing and I'm swearing blind, no, it's not, it's saying something totally different.
Yeah.
It's like a pareidolia.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. But there's some people that try and do the recordings.
Yeah.
They don't get them all the time, kind of thing. I mean, I do actually know people who are really good with the EVPs. All they've got to do is press the button and they'll get a response back.
Yeah.
It's there's lots of things about EVPs and things like that. I'm experimenting with them at the moment. Because I reckon one of my theories is in certain haunted locations, I call them hotspots.
Yeah.
where you can stand in a certain spot, and you will get EVPs. If you stand 5 feet away, you won't get nothing. If you hit that hot spot, then you will get something. If you know what I mean. It's really weird, but there's a guy in Leicester. I won't mention his name because I can't stand the bloke.
Oh, you can tell me later.
Yeah, I'll tell you later afterwards. But he really is good with EVPs, and if he's faking it, I don't know how he's faking it, because I'm really good at spotting fake, because that's what I do. But he has a spirit that works with him called, I won't tell you the name, but every time he asks her a question, she answers, but you can understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
And I honestly,
I don't doubt it. I'd have to listen to what he's been recording and everything to actually judge this person, but yeah. But so when you go out on an investigation, what do you take with you? Actually, with you, Mark? I know you go out with a team. What are they called again?
Soul Reapers. Soul Reaper Paranormal.
Okay, Soul Reapers. We're going to give you a shout out. Hello, Soul Reapers.
Yeah, they're a great team. Well, the thing was, I've been doing what I do for a few years. I wasn't really getting anywhere, really. I mean, because obviously, I used to film my spirit friend. I film her all the time. And if I tell her to pop up on camera, she'll pop up on camera. But obviously, because I was filming it,
yeah,
people didn't believe it. So I was looking for a honest paranormal group to validate her.
Yeah.
Validate my spirit friend. And I looked and looked and looked, and then I found Soul Reapers. I invited them on an investigation, and we filmed my spirit friend. They saw the footage, and they validated her, kind of thing. And that led me to me joining them.
So you go out now on investigations with them then? Do they take all the paraphernalia with them, and you just take something like a voice recorder and a camera? Yeah,
they've got the cameras and everything like that. But with me, I take cameras because obviously you need to get it on film. But I'm not too techie. I'm not involved in the equipment side of things. I use myself as a ghost detector kind of thing. K2 meter, EMF meter and stuff like that. It's a bit hard to explain, actually. I've trained myself over a number of years, on locations.
It's sensing.
And I can feel spirit energy and stuff. If anything comes close to me, I can sense it. And if anybody stood next to me with a camera, I will point in that direction. I'll tell them where to point the camera, and they will film something.
Yeah.
Because I know it's coming from that direction. I won't tell you exactly what I feel, but I can sense.
I know what you feel. I'm very much the same.
I can tell which direction it's coming from, you see. Yeah. So I'll just snap my fingers and say, right, point in that direction. There's something going to come through that wall in a second. And they do. They catch it on film.
Yeah.
And if they're recording on the digital recorders, if I hear a voice, I will say, right, stop recording what you're doing and play back 10 seconds. And I will actually tell them what the voice had just said.
Yeah.
You get a voice coming out saying, get out. I will tell them that. And then they will replay it back, and they will get that voice saying, get out.
Yeah. That's one of the, sorry, Marky, that's one of the most common things that you do actually get on an EVP. You never get someone come through and say, can I have a cup of tea? Or anything like that. It's usually get out.
Yeah, a lot of strange EVPs. I mean, I've had some very strange EVPs. It's, I mean, some of them make me giggle, make me laugh and stuff like that. And yeah, but I just love getting it. But when you actually catch one for real and you know it's a real EVP, it just gives you that little budge. You want to go further.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Probably one of the most incredible EVPs we ever caught on an investigation I did was we were in a house and the client was sitting in the kitchen with a friend of hers who was psychic. And we had a camera on them while we were just in the hallway. And on the camera audio, you can hear all of a sudden this man's voice starts talking. And this is what's really wild. It's because I was asking questions, and because the spirit there that was supposed to be a little unfriendly, we were provoking a little bit, not being very respectful. And all of a sudden, this man's voice comes through and says exactly like this: "Tell him not to toy with me." And then a couple of seconds later, the psychic woman tells the client, he just told Mark not to toy with him. And I heard her voice down the hallway, so I said, "What was that?" And he said, "Don't toy with him." So here we had a man's voice on an EVP. The psychic woman heard it and repeated it to the client. And we got both on audio, which is pretty compelling.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, the worst one I got, or the most clearest one I got, was that was in, it turned around and it said out loud, and it wasn't just an EVP, it was an AVP as well, because although we never actually heard it in the building, I was connected to a lot of people at the time by computers who were out in the States, and they could hear it over the computers. So I suppose it was EVP, but because computers are electronic, aren't they? And it said, "You're dead, Barry." And one of my team that was with me that night dropped dead 2 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
Had a heart attack in the street. So, yeah, it wasn't very nice. So you can get some really dodgy ones if you're not careful.
So I think it's now time to talk about Mark, your protector companion. What is this spirit's name?
Her name is Kara, Kara.
And who is Kara? And I mean, what's Kara's story?
Kara is an entity I met in the haunted cellar in Wakefield, West Yorkshire. The cellar I spent 6 years in, getting to know her, befriending her. She's from what she told me, she's a Sumerian demon.
Wait. A demon?
A demon, yeah.
Okay.
Big badass demon. Okay.
So you befriended a big badass demon?
I did.
Okay. Now, what did you think of that when she told you that? What was your impression?
Well, at the time, she tried to kid me. She tried to fool me. Because of the place where it was, because I said I described the haunted cellar as a bus station with spirits going in and out. I could feel normal spirits, but when she came in, she felt a little bit different to what I would say a ghost would feel like or a spirit would feel like.
So she actually resonated on a different vibration.
Yeah, I can feel her. If you watch my videos on YouTube, you'll see I used to sit in a chair in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
Behind me is a wall, and that used to be the gateway where she used to come in and out. And I could feel them coming in and out, whether it's a portal or whatever. But I've actually caught it on film opening. You can see that on one of my videos. But when she came in, the feeling was different. It's really hard to explain.
Yeah.
But I knew she wasn't a normal spirit ghost kind of thing.
Okay.
So when I first started talking to her, she tried to pretend she was human. So I was asking her questions and she was giving me answers. And then I confronted her. And then I told them what I suspected she was. And then I came under attack.
You had a psychic attack?
Yeah, big style, yeah, and it hurt. I kept having to leave the building, but I wouldn't give in. I would leave the building for half an hour, recuperate, and then go back in. And then the attack would resume. This lasted for about 4 days, but I would not give in. And in the end, I think she felt sorry for me.
I was going to say, how did you get round her?
Well, I offered her a deal.
Oh. Yeah.
Don't worry, I didn't sell my soul or anything like that. But oh God, it's hard to explain. I offered her my friendship.
Yeah.
They can read everything you're thinking about. Everything you think about, they know everything about you. They know everything that what you've been through in life. They know everything that what you're scared of, what you fear, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I know that, yeah.
When they read your mind, they know whether you're telling the truth or not. And I offered her my true friendship, and she gave me it back.
So so how long did it take actually to get her on side with you?
Oh,
how you were down in that cellar for 6 years, were you? You working on her for a good part of that 6 years?
No, for the 6 years, probably 4 years.
About 4 years.
It took a long, long time. But I knew what she does. I mean, she's a demon.
Yeah.
I know sometimes she can be naughty and she can do bad things. But I use her to do good things.
Yeah.
I help people out with paranormal problems. So I will take her to locations to help people out. It's hard to explain it. I know
do you call on her when you need her? Do you call on her to come and assist you?
Yeah, I can summon her. She told me.
You know, she's not there actually all the time with you, obviously. You know, sitting around, hanging around the house watching telly or anything like that. So you actually call on her assistance.
No, she's not with me all the time. I have to summon her, but she's told me how to summon her.
Yeah.
I do call her. There is different time spans, how long it takes her to come. Well, I don't know what demons do when they're not around, but they're obviously
pestering someone else, I expect.
Yeah, doing something else. But when I call her, she's normally pretty quick.
Yeah.
And
you can then feel her with you.
Yeah, she'll come in and she'll say hello. She'll say hello and she'll call me by name to tell me that she's here. But the thing is, I always catch on camera.
Sorry?
She's very photogenic. She loves being on camera for some reason.
Like most women, except this one, especially when she just got out of the bath.
Yeah, I mean, we did an investigation in Wakefield, a pub called the Black Horse, and it was my second investigation with Soul Reapers before I actually joined them. They'd met her at the first investigation, and this was the second one. And I did actually tell everybody on camera that this was the spot where something was going to be filmed. And going back to Cal Thompson, a member of the Soul Reapers team, he was doing an interview with the landlord in the pub in the living room. As he was doing so, Cara floated through, and she just likes to get on camera. But she knows when people have been interviewed. She seems to know when we're filming. She just loves being on TV.
Well, I suppose it's all new, isn't it? You know, it's like one of my ghosts. I've got one that kind of you put the telephone down and go away from it for a while. You can bet your life it'll say hello to somebody. You know, so they do like a bit of attention in that way. So you take Cara everywhere with you on these investigations, and how does she help you? Does she give you information on what's the location or what is in the location, or what does she do?
Well, basically, you said something before about remote viewing and all that kind of things. When people contact me, I ask them to give me an address and whatever, so I'll send in Cara first to have a little scout round, and then she'll come back to me and tell me, yes, they've got something there that needs dealing with. But my deal with the people that live at that property is, well, allow me to film, because I don't charge you anything, but if I do catch something on film, then I sell it to the newspapers.
Yeah. And how do the people feel about that? Do you make them sign something to say that you're able to sell it to the newspapers? After all, it's their homes, you know.
Well, I'm supposed to do, but I'm one of these people. If you say something to me, your word is your bond, kind of thing.
Trouble is, not everybody is like that. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was involved in a ITV show. You know, Judge Rinder.
Yeah.
Have you seen me on that?
Yeah. What's the American version of that again? It's a woman judge that's
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. Don't mess with Judge Judy.
Yeah, well, we got Judge Rinder and
Don't mess with him.
No, he's just the same. He's the male version of Judge Judy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everything's got to be put down in writing, contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I don't really bother with that. You know, my word is my word. If you've got a paranormal problem, I can come in there and sort it out. I've got 100% strike rate. I mean, because I'm into the paranormal, I like watching paranormal videos, and I see these people going around houses with sage and things like that.
Stink, doesn't it?
Cleansing house and the things. I mean, it's what you believe in. I mean, personally, I don't think you can actually go in a house and cleanse or get rid of an evil spirit with a piece of sage.
Well, you're like me. I don't. You know, I tell people, okay, you can do that if you want, but open the windows afterwards because your house is going to stink. And then I'll come in and sort the ghost out.
Well, my belief is if there's something nasty at a location, then my belief is you need something bigger and nastier to kick it out.
Yeah.
Which I've got in Cara. I've got 100% strike rate. I've never failed. Never a problem. I've got a case coming up on the 20th this month, Saturday. We're going to a location in Barnsley.
Yeah.
There's a young lady having some serious paranormal problems. That will be the next Soul Reaper video coming out soon. After we've obviously visited the location, but I've got to take care of her in there to sort it out.
Yeah. I've got two questions for you. So she's a Sumerian demon.
That's what she told me, yes.
Yeah. Did she actually, the first question is, did she actually tell you and describe what a Sumerian demon is?
No, the thing was, when I was in there, I was getting EVPs in a foreign language.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand what the EVPs were. It's only, I sent the recordings out to a few people. One of them was an expert in Sumerian language, and he said it's Sumerian.
Yeah.
So when I found out that, I started learning a bit of Sumerian. I'm not fluent in it, but I know a few words. I can get by on it. So I can understand some of the words she's saying.
Okay. So this person didn't tell you what was said on the actual EVP then?
No, he told me what was said on the EVPs that I sent him. I sent him some recordings.
Yeah.
Saying, I know it's a voice, but I can't understand what it's saying. At the time I thought it was Latin, but it's not. He came back to me and said, no, it's actually Sumerian. So when I found that out, I would speak to Cara and say, well, you're Sumerian. You're oldest language known to mankind.
Okay.
And she says, yes, you're right. And that kind of thing.
And Cara, the name, actually translates into, what was it?
Cara actually means Dark Queen. She's a demon queen.
She's a demon queen.
Yeah, she commands over demons.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Don't ask
Sounds like most women to me.
We're all demon queens. Okay.
Well,
don't ask me what she was doing in the cellar in the middle of Wakefield, West Yorkshire. I haven't got a clue why she was there.
Well, half of us don't know why we're where we are when we're out. You know, she could have been in Marks and Spencer's or anywhere like that. It's wherever she felt like being at the time, and obviously something attracted her to that cellar, wasn't it? And that was more than likely you. You never know. You see, you may have known each other in a previous life. There might be some sort of connection between the two of you.
Yeah, there is a connection, but I can't say what. But yes, there is a connection.
Okay. Now, I thought you had mentioned at one point before that she had lived a human life.
Not a human life. No, she's. Well, this is one of the questions I asked her actually, and she said, "No, we was here before you."
Yeah.
She said that to me before. Obviously, I can make my own assumptions about what she actually means, but she won't go further on that. We was here before you. I mean,
Well, that I can understand, because I think a lot of these beings, these what we call demons, which is obviously a man-made name, but a lot of these entities that, they've been around a lot longer than mankind. I'm sure they have. Don't you agree, Mark?
Oh, yeah. Again, this is all part of the real strangeness around our world. We think humans are unique, the only intelligent creatures on this planet, and in reality, we're just one of many.
Flesh and blood, yeah.
Yeah, we're one of many. And, these types of entities like Kara, not exactly flesh and blood, but they live here all the same.
Yeah.
well, I do have a picture of Kara. I don't know if you've seen that.
Where is that picture?
On the it's on a few videos, but I will actually send you it. It's
Yeah, send it because we can freeze frame it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, put it on the website.
And make sure you pick her best side because she'll get irritated if not. Women don't like, bad pictures going out of them.
Well, when the picture was took, she was actually walking through a wall into the next door house cellar wall kind of thing. The person who took it was a friend of mine called Rachel Gonzalez from Hepnwyke, West Yorkshire. And it was her first visit to the cellar, and she had a camera, and she was taking pictures. And it's because of her the picture was took. And I've sent this picture off to loads of people. I mean, even Nick Pope, because I knew it wasn't a ghost. I'm thinking, well, he must have seen, the Ministry of Defence guy. Remember?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we know Nick Pope.
I sent him the picture. I said, well, you must have seen loads of pictures. Have you ever seen anything like this? I said, I know it's not a ghost.
What did he say?
He said he'd never seen nothing like it. He said, but keep me informed. So I still keep in touch with the guy, kind of thing. But he'd never seen nothing like it. It's just when you see the picture, it's not a ghost spirit or whatever. It's something else.
Yeah.
And when I questioned Cara about this, and she said, "Yeah, well, yes, it's me."
Okay. So you yourself, besides seeing her on film or in photographs, you don't actually see her in the physical form herself?
Not in physical form. I do actually see her in the form that she's seen on camera. She's like a magnolia fuzzball.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do see her with a naked eye.
You do?
I do, yeah. I do, yeah. When I'm at home, especially.
Yeah, when you first met her, she was imitating being a human being. Is she able to imitate or give you the vision of a woman? Herself as a woman instead of a fuzzball?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that because sometimes when she speaks to me, it's like two different Caras.
Yeah.
She's like when she talks, sometimes she talks in a singy voice. So when I hear it, I know it's her. She has a nice mode, and then she has a evil mode.
Yeah.
Nasty.
The demonic voice comes out.
Here's an obvious question. She said she's a quote-unquote demon. Do you feel she is evil? Do you feel she is neutral? Could be good or evil? I mean, what are your thoughts?
No, she's definitely evil. Definitely evil, without a shadow of a doubt. It's what character? She's very protective over me. But I can't really go into details why.
This is now. Come on now. We're on the. It's just the three of us. It's just the three of us here. Why is she so protective? What is it between the two of you? What was that link?
I don't know.
You
There
don't
is a
know.
link. I don't know, but
Do you think
she's
you could have
protected.
known her before? Or you could have been an alchemist or somebody in a previous life that conjured her?
Well, the link is, I'm thinking, well, I've been drawn to this house in the middle of Wakefield
Yeah.
to a certain spot, and I've met this entity.
Mm.
Is that fate, or was we destined to meet, or was I drawn there for some reason? It's
Well, it is strange that, she's suddenly, you've been working on this house for a couple of years previous to meeting her, and suddenly
yeah.
she's drawn there as well.
Well,
She
I mean,
wasn't
she could
in
have
there
been
when you
there.
first.
well,
Oh,
she might have been there, but I might not
She
have
wasn't-
detected her.
yeah, she wasn't showing herself, maybe not. My second question,
Yeah.
all right, we'll get back to Cara in a minute because she is really fascinating. But my second question, what were you doing on Judge Ginger?
Well, it's the argument that we had before about writing contracts.
Ah,
Yeah, the show was totally fake.
yeah. Well, most television shows
Yeah.
are.
Well, ITV contacted me and asked me if I wanted to do a fun show.
Mm.
Could you do a fun? We want to kick off the new series with a paranormal show.
Yeah.
I said, well, actually, I'm involved with a house in Wakefield. They call the woman Tracy Proctor. She's on all the videos and whatever. I mean, she made a few quid out of the story, whatever. But the house is genuinely haunted. And we made up a story about me making so much money selling it to the newspapers and stuff. And that was it. She wanted half the money, and I wouldn't agree to it.
So it was. And which way did the judgment go? Were you?
Well, the judge called it a draw.
He didn't turn around and say you've got to pay her so much. Then.
He said, "Well, no, you should have a written contract, but at the same time, I can't believe you didn't agree for Matt to come in and film, take the footage and whatever. I mean, they had a big TV screen up in court, and they showed all the paranormal footage that I caught in there.
Yeah.
And when it was being played, I could hear all the audience behind us going, whoo, whoo, and whoo." So they knew it was genuine.
So you had an oral contract, and that's it. And as far as the judge was concerned, that stood fast.
Well,
Your
he
oral
said
contract.
there's no way was you going to allow Matt Venanti House to film and not believe it was going to go worldwide viral and all this lot, because it was in all the newspapers. It went worldwide because of the thing that we caught in our house.
Yeah. Now, you've been in a hell of a lot of newspapers recently, haven't you?
Oh God, I love the newspapers. That's how I make my money. That's how I make my money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I don't charge the clients nothing. I don't charge them a penny. I don't charge them petrol money, nothing. I'm there. Sorry. I mean, I feel sorry for these people because a lot of people don't believe in what they're experiencing, what they're suffering. I know so because I've experienced it myself.
Yeah.
As long as I leave a location, all I want paying is, all I want to see is a smile.
Yeah.
That's my reward. And that's all I want. But while I'm there, if I capture footage, then I select the newspapers. That's all that's all they got to agree on. But the footage is genuine, 100% genuine.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that because with Spirit Rescue International, there was never any charges for anything. And the reward was seeing the relief on people's faces when the problem was solved. We didn't sell anything to newspapers or anything like that because, it's we had a contract with them, with people. What is that contract called, Mark? Anomaly?
Liability contract.
And keeping them anonymous. And
non-disclosure. Yeah, we kept people's confidentiality.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have been involved in a few cases like that where I have actually helped people out, but they don't want it. They don't want it filming. They don't want publicity out of it because, the last person I helped, a woman lived in Morley near me. She had a haunted house, but because she worked for the police,
Yeah.
she didn't want her colleagues finding out. She'd be a laughing stock kind of thing. So I couldn't film it, even though I filmed stuff at a house.
But then again, there's a lot of clients that really want to be in the newspaper. They want their 15 minutes of fame as well. So,
listen,
you know?
I've had that. I've been to people that claim the haunted houses, and there's been nothing there.
Yeah.
They're just trying to con me. I have had that, but they're easy to figure out. No one can fool me because Cara tells me so.
And getting back to Cara.
Yeah.
Besides, getting back to Cara, besides her shooting off on remote investigations for you and checking these places out, what else does she do? Does she ever remove any of the stuff that's in these places? In other words, does she go in there and say, get out?
well, that's what I use her for. She's got 100% strike rate.
Yeah.
I can go into any place and close it down.
Right.
Well, when I go around a location, I'll actually have a little walk round.
Yeah.
See if I can detect a portal.
Mm.
If there's a portal there, obviously the spirit's coming in and out.
Yeah.
Cara will close that portal. She'll get rid of everything and shove it out.
Okay.
Whether a portal opens again afterwards,
yeah,
then that will have to be dealt with again afterwards. But once I send her in, she sorts it out. Not a problem.
So actually, no, not insulting Cara in any way, but it's like sending the dogs in, isn't it?
Oh, blame me. She's one of the best guard dogs I've ever had.
Mm. And she protects you say?
Oh, big style, yeah. I mean, yes.
So what would she do if somebody, when you're on an investigation and somebody lost their rag with you? I mean, for Mark, his benefit, rag means temper. If somebody lost their temper with you, that's me. Coming out with this London accent all the time, I do try to keep it under control, but it's a bit difficult. If somebody lost their temper with you and went for you on an investigation, like one of your friends.
Yeah, she would attack them.
She would attack them? Yeah,
without
physically, psychically, how?
She would actually cause them physical harm. We actually know she's actually scratched people because some of the clients that I've had, Tracy Proctor, the Black Monk of Wakefield, the case, she was having problems with her boyfriend, which I didn't know at the time. And when I move into a location, visit it, I activate it, I kind of press a button. I don't know how I press that button, but it starts up activity so it can be filmed. So what I tell the client is, right, I'm going to leave Cara here for a few days to look after you. If anything threatens you or seeks you harm, then she will protect you and sort it out. This Tracy Proctor at the time was having problems with her boyfriend. I didn't know none of this. And Cara attacked him, gave him a few scratches, and he lost a bit of blood. Oh. It was only afterwards that Tracy explained to me what kind of man he was. Not a very nice man. But Cara's job her instructions were to look after Tracy.
Yeah, to protect her.
Make sure no one hurts her. It was only afterwards I found out, without going in too much into it, he wasn't a very nice man. But she'll do that against humans and she'll do it against spirits.
Yeah.
So if you've got a bad spirit there, she'll protect you against a bad spirit, but you also got a bad human, she'll protect you against the bad human.
Well, she's handy to have around, isn't she? Really, when you think about it. What do you think, Marky?
Well, let me throw a monkey wrench in here a bit. If she is evil...
I was going to say, at the moment... Hang on, hold on, Marky. I was going to say, can I borrow? Because sometimes it gets right on my boobies.
I can say, watch yourself, Matt, because Carla's listening.
Well, I know she's listening, so here's my question. If she is evil, then not a combination, not neutral, just you say... How can you trust anything she says? why do you believe her and take what she says is the truth and befriend her when you know that she's evil and can turn on you or manipulate you?
Well, she wouldn't turn on me. I did a series. I used to experiment in the haunted cellar. To befriend her, I had to show her that I trust her 100%. And I did tell her I couldn't have a relationship with her if I couldn't trust her 100%. I do have footage of her entering me, coming into my body.
Oh, that was through the belly button, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you seen that one, Eileen?
Yes, I do my research.
Yeah, well, that's genuine footage, that. But I was testing it. In my pursuit of the paranormal, because I believe in it so much, I would do anything to prove it, even if it cost me my life.
What do you think would have happened if you didn't want to befriend her, or you didn't give her that assurance that you would trust her? Do you think she would have turned on you?
I know I was drawn there for a purpose. There was one reason. There was one reason why I was drawn there. I don't think it was coincidence. I believe it was fate. I knew I was supposed to be there at that certain time and meet Cara.
Yeah, but I've been in certain places at certain times, but it was for the total opposite, to clear. You know, I've been drawn to places before now where I've gone in the opposite direction and I've cleared negatives. You know, I've been kind of pulled there and suddenly, bang, I've had to zap something or other. So what I'm trying to say is, if you had had a different frame of mind and were in a position where there was no way you were going to have anything to do with this demon, right, would she have attacked you?
Well, she did attack me at first.
What did you do to get her to attack you? What, did you say the wrong thing?
Well, no, I confronted her.
You confronted her?
Well, she told me she was a woman called Janet.
Ah.
And there's two others. I call them two lieutenants. I call them Tyrone and Jonathan. I've never been able to get the real names.
Yeah.
But there's three of them. There's not just Cara, there's three of them.
Oh, yeah, there's three. Are they all Sumerian demons?
I don't know. Well, Cara is, but I don't know about the other two because they won't tell me nothing. They hate me.
But they're attached to her.
Yeah, she commands them.
Yeah.
They've got to do what she says.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't like me, and I have no control over them whatsoever. I mean, she has. They try to get other spirits to attack me in the cellar because they knew they couldn't attack me because Cara told them not to attack me.
Yeah.
When I did the deal with them. But like I said, demons are sly.
Well, they are. They're dead crafty.
Yeah, well, very crafty. So I asked Cara for them, tell Tyrone and Jonathan not to attack me. So it came back, no, they won't attack you. But then they started to get other spirits to attack me. But I got them on EVP saying, attack him, kill him. Stuff like that. So then I had to sort that one out. Because I used to get people coming into the haunted cellar because they wanted to see it, experience a bit paranormal. Yeah. And then obviously they get attacked. So.
What, as intruders?
Well, they used to get scratch marks and stuff like that, and, you know, like physical attacks and stuff down there. I said, well, it's got to stop. I said, I don't mind yourself showing yourselves on camera, but no more scratching or anything like that. So, the demons, for God's sake.
Yeah, you know, demon cases really are very, very rare. They are absolutely really rare. Not over here. In Europe, they're a rarity to have a demon case. You know, you're lucky if you get one in a lifetime. But in America, obviously, there's a demon on every corner. So, you know, I've forgotten where I'm going now. Mark, where am I going with this?
Well, you were talking about demons in general. They are very rare. Most cases that people think are demonic aren't. Either it's a pesky human spirit or they've watched one too many episodes of Ghost Adventures. So
right. The thing is with Cara, I can be anywhere and summon her, get to play on camera, say, "Come on, Cara." I mean, sometimes she can be a little bit stubborn.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know. And then I get into an argument with her. Right, show yourself on camera or else.
Yeah.
It's that kind of argument. I mean...
Well, there's another thing. We're calling her Cara, we're calling her a female and everything, but these things do not have actually a gender. But if they did have a gender, you can understand, if she is female, then she is going to be like this, because most females can be like this at times, stubborn and obstinate, and
Well, she can be stubborn. Like I said, she's always there. And like I said, these paranormal skeptics, I've emailed them, sent them photographs, and I've agreed to meet them. I said, put me in any location at any time, in any controlled conditions, wherever you want, and I will summon her. And I've challenged them for money. Right, put some money up. I'll take your money.
Yeah.
Who's that? That Randy guy in America.
Oh, Randy. Yeah, Randy.
Yeah, I even applied for that, but he won't take me on.
No.
It's like I get, because I know what I get so frustrated with it because people don't believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I've been up against this sort of stuff, I'm not disbelieving you at all. Because I've been fighting this sort of stuff for, half a century, in various parts of the world. So, I'll go with you on this. I've asked you some questions that if I wanted to, would have been trick questions, but you've answered the right way.
Look, you can ask me as well. Any questions you ask me, Ari, I'll give you an honest-to-God answer.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I have no reason.
For a start, the sensations that you were talking about and everything, I know those sensations because I deal with this sort of stuff. So I knew exactly that what you were saying was correct.
Yeah, you get the sensations, but there's also certain smells as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's like everybody associates demons with the smell of sulfur.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Like I said, I've never experienced that. When I smell Cara, I either smell like a perfume or the smell of burnt bread. Like you burnt bread in the toast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that smell all right. Well,
to me, that's a demon smell. I know it sounds silly.
Oh, I know it because I'm always burning
bread. It's a demon smell.
I'm always setting the fire alarms off in this place because of the toaster. Oh, I know the smell.
That's toast, though. Yeah, but I associate a demon smell with burnt bread, not sulfur. Burnt bread. Yeah. And I can smell it. And then when she's in a nice mode, I smell perfumey. She smells a bit perfumey when she speaks to me. But I get that sing-songy voice. It's very nice to hear when you hear it.
Tell me something. Do you... I'm getting a little bit of feedback here. Sorry if that's coming through. Do you have this feeling of not connection, but closeness with her?
Yeah, I count
as if it's a strange feeling, a feeling that you don't want to let her go. It's like a form of love type feeling, a real closeness that you. Well, how did I describe what happened to me last night, Mark?
Oh, good Lord. That's hard to say. It was something along the lines of some kind of connection. You saw the ring actually like it was becoming alive.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. It's like they are part of you. Like you're it's absorbed into you, that you, if you were to try and move her away, that you would want her back, you know, a feeling so strong.
Yeah, you miss them if they moved away. It's a family love. It's a family connection.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
It's like it's your brother or your sister or your mum or your dad. It's family.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I get with Cara.
Mm.
I mean, there's lots of EVPs that I've got where she proclaims a love for me. I love you.
Yeah.
I love you, and all this. And I wouldn't know what I would do actually without her, because I'm not used to her now.
Yeah, and again, I have to throw in some questioning in if she said she loves you. Is that a form of manipulation? Is it something? Are these things even capable of love or those types of emotions? Especially if you're convinced that she's negative and evil. You know, what we would term to be evil. You know, how can you believe what she says?
Because I opened up to 100%. If she wanted to possess me, she could have done, but she didn't. I said, if you want me to trust you, I've got to be able to trust you, and that's why I allowed her in. I think Irene's seen the footage of her going into my belly button.
Yeah.
And
the way I look at it, you know, like you say, if she wanted to harm him, she would have done it by now.
She would have done it. So and then she gave my trust, because if she wanted to possess me, she could have done.
Easily. She could have just had her way with him anytime she wanted.
But she didn't, and that's why I trust her. And now she trusts me. Cara likes to go after bad people.
Yeah.
Cara has her own agenda. She's here for a reason.
Well, maybe that's because she gets something from bad people, you know.
I know lots of bad
people. She kind of draws on the energy from them, survives from something like that.
Well, I know spirits feed. I do have footage of spirits feeding in the haunted cellar. They do feed from the temple area. You know, when ghost hunters get headaches and all that lot.
Yeah.
I do believe it's because of spirits feeding on them. They do need energy, and this is what I can't understand. Because if they're supposed to be dead, why do they need to eat? Why do they need to feed?
I don't think it's eating as such.
But they need energy to do what they do.
Yeah.
So it's feeding. So it's food, isn't it?
Yeah, like parasites.
Well, yeah. They need supplements. They need to feed.
Yeah.
And I do have footage of it.
We've talked about that before, haven't we, Mark?
Yeah.
Things being like...
some things, they seem to feed off of the energy. That's why so many people who have these demonic attacks, it's a psychological attack that increases fear, negativity, and that's what these things seem to feed on, is the negative energy to become stronger. And so we can liken them to being a parasite, like a mosquito or a leech.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, well, humans, I do think humans are a bit naive when they think they're top of the food chain, because they're not. Believe me, they're not.
No, we're not, but that's our arrogance, is we think we are. And we also think that we're the only ones. And again, that's why here on this planet and in the universe in general, there's lots of different intelligent life. We share this planet with a number of different intelligent beings. I mean, you can argue that in some of the animals, like dolphins, are as intelligent or more intelligent than we are. And yet there are also different types of beings, entities, creatures that people have interacted with and seen throughout the millennia. We can call them demons, we can call them fairies, we can call them elves or jinn or whatever. And these things really are around us all the time, and they have a very mysterious past. And I've heard this before when a lot of these things say they were here before us. It's like, okay, you were here you're here before us, and they mostly make it a point to stay the hell out of our way and leave us alone. But and then people who do come in contact with them, there are a lot of negative experiences. Some are positive, but some are very negative. This also brings to point, what is good and evil? And that's something we've discussed before, is just because something is doing something that you don't like. Again, we talk about the parasite. When a mosquito comes and starts sucking on you, is it evil? It's sucking your blood. It's taking something from you. It's a minor harm, but it's a harm. Do you consider it evil? And we usually don't. We just know that the mosquito is doing what it does. It's feeding. It's feeding off of us. We don't like it. The same could be true for some of these entities that come through that create chaos in order to feed. Are they doing it intentionally, with malice, or are they doing it because they have to feed? It's the only way that they get stronger. And so we would interpret that as evil. What do you think about that, Mark?
I think you hit the nail right on the head there. The mosquito feeding on a human for the blood, it's doing it because it needs to survive. Yeah. It's ensuring its survival.
Now here's a question for you. Since you seem to have a lot of knowledge of Kara and the type of entity she is, can she die? Does she have a lifespan? Maybe longer than ours, but in the end, does she have a lifespan?
It's never it's not a question I've ever asked her. I will actually ask her that, but I've never. Yeah, you got me there. I've never actually asked her that.
It is thought that you cannot kill anything like this. You can move it, but you can't actually destroy it because it's a form of energy itself.
True, but is it eternal, or is it a different type of life form?
It could be
that exists slightly different from our physical existence, but still has that aspect of it's born or created, it lives, and then it dies. So there is a life cycle among them.
Well, my belief is like everything is eternal, but like you just said, why do these things need to feed if they're not eternal?
Exactly.
This is what puzzles me. This is what I can't understand. I know ghosts and spirits feed because I have actually caught them on film doing it. So if they're not dead, then why do they need to feed?
And again, well, that's where our misunderstanding comes in. It's like we think, well, it's either dead or alive. Alive being here in a physical body, and that's not the case. There are other states of existence, other states of being that we would look at as possibly spiritual, but maybe does have its own version of a life cycle. Whether it's hundreds or thousands of years old, it's still a life cycle and will eventually die, dissipate, or whatever it is. And, depending on your views and spirituality, if you believe in reincarnation or recycle, that could possibly happen for them too. Who's to say maybe they don't have souls like we do, and they do go through a life cycle and a rebirth process and possibly come back again someday. There's so much of this that we don't know and understand, and we're so self-absorbed, wrapped up in our own human world, that we don't take the time to think about some of these other things. We just think, oh, it's an evil spirit. Okay, well, what is an evil spirit? What is that thing? It's non-human. Okay, we don't take the time to study it like we do, say, animals in the wild, where we know the mating habits of the Canadian goose, but we don't know anything about these other entities because usually people already slap the label on it and run away. Nobody's taken the time to really try to study it. You have a unique perspective. If you feel that Kara is truthful with you, then you have an opportunity to at least interview her or it and try to obtain some information about its history. Something to think about.
Yeah, I've often thought about this, and kind of with spirits and ghosts and things along the EVP lines. It's like mediums. It's like I'm not a big believer in mediums for some reason. I just don't believe you can get that kind of information from them. They'll tell you so much, but they won't tell you exactly what you want to hear.
What, in terms of spirits, or these like a being like Kara?
Well, I've seen videos of like mediums, people like get in touch with dead people and relatives and stuff like that. I just don't believe what they say. I just don't believe they can get that kind of information, because when I speak to Kara, she doesn't speak to me like that.
How does she speak to you?
But you are being, you are sort of like a medium, because you're able to talk to her. So you're using the same sort of gifts, the same sort of powers or energies that a medium would use to communicate.
Well, if I have them same kind of powers, then I should.
Well, you've got some sort of way of communicate. You communicate with us, so you are using mediumistic energy gift.
Yeah, but I'm not getting that information that these so-called well-known mediums.
Oh no!
Yeah,
no.
You know what I mean? Say no,
Yeah,
sisters.
yeah, I know.
Well, because most of them are fake anyway.
Like I said, I don't get that information from them. So this is why I don't believe in mediums.
Mm.
I do believe that some certain people have some certain abilities, and they can get some kind of information. But I just don't believe all that rubbish about.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about.
It's hard to explain. I mean, when I speak to Kara, I don't get like sentences off her. I get like 1, 2, 3, 4 word answers off her at the most.
Mm.
And sometimes when I ask a question, she won't answer at all, but I know she's there. She'll give me an answer when she wants to. I mean, I can't force her.
Yeah.
Can't force her to give me an answer, but when I do actually need her for something, she'll come through.
Mm. It's all very strange. It is very strange. A lot of people won't understand. I do understand to a certain degree of what you're talking about, but there are going to be the skeptics out there. Obviously, they're going to turn around and say, "Irene, you've gone off your bonkers." But I don't care.
Irene, I've had that for so long. When I first started off with this with Kara, when I first started showing on YouTube and like showing videos and stuff, and people would say, "Oh, don't believe in all this." I used to spend all day arguing.
No, it's not worth arguing with them. It's not worth.
I don't do it no more. If I get any negativity off people, I just block them straight away. Well, go off and bother someone else.
Yeah.
I know what's the truth. I'm showing people what's the truth. If they don't want to believe that, then fine, go off and watch Most Haunted or something like that.
And then believe that.
And go believe that. What I'm showing you is 100% genuine.
Yeah. Well, I definitely, after these last couple of weeks, trying to get this show together, all the hassle we've had with equipment and one thing or another, I definitely believe there's something going on with Kara. It was as if she was trying to block it, wasn't it, Mark?
I don't think it was Kara kind of thing. Might be other things in place, but we have been trying to do this show for the last 3 weeks, haven't we?
Every week, some technical something is. If it's not you, it's me. If it's not me, it's Mark. So it just wasn't coming together, was it, Mark? Marky?
Yes. No. Something would definitely seem to be interfering. All the technical issues we were having, even a couple times in this show, which people hear the nice, cleaned up, edited version of the show, we've still had some things happening tonight. So, it's very interesting. It seems like something is interfering.
Well, before we start recording, I mean, I was hearing voices on there. I think Irene heard them as well.
Yeah, I did.
But obviously that's not going to be put in the show, so people won't know that, will they? But there was technical issues before we even started.
Yeah, there was voices. But a lot of people will put that down to Skype. But no, you thought they were coming from my house. I wasn't sure where the bloody hell they were coming from. but there were voices.
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt, I hear them. They're coming from your house. You're in Dyrene. It's you that's haunted.
It's him trying to get back out that safe, isn't it? I pugged up the ring in the safe. He's trying to get back out, Mark.
Uh-oh. He's calling to you again, huh?
Yeah, he wants a repeat of our episode last night. Well, he's had it, I tell you.
Ooh, here you go. You know, you get on the ring, and Kara.
Yeah. Well, she might tell me a bit more about how the ring came to be. That's what we're trying to find out. The age of the ring, the origin of the ring, and why the ring was created.
I know you guys do the radio show. Do you ever do anything on video kind of thing?
No, because I'd have to do my hair.
And put on her slap.
I mean,
You know, we used to do Unknown Origins Radio, and there'd be Bruce on the video, and there'd be Mark on the video, and there'd be a picture of me coming up on screen every time I spoke, because there's no way I'm going to late at night get tarted up to do a video. No way.
no.
So no.
No, what I was thinking of, Irene, was if you fancied, you know, like you're doing tonight with the radio show, if you fancied doing like a video kind of thing, I wouldn't actually mind travelling and meeting you, and you could see Cara for yourself. You could actually film her for yourself, because I could get her to show up on camera.
I could do that.
That wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I could arrange that if you ever fancied doing something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Cara's there to be filmed. She'll have been on camera.
Yeah, she's about the only one. She likes being on camera. I'm the one that doesn't. You don't want to put your slap on late at night, do you? You know? It's all right.
It's so hard to take off afterwards, I know.
Well, if you'd seen me earlier on, my hair all wet and pushed back, glasses on, you know? Cut practically up my nose when that video clicked on. Because that's another thing. I never touched that blasted video on Skype, and it automatically goes on. I see myself and look, oh, friggin' Jesus. Quick, turn it off. You know? It's, she is up to her tricks. It's either her up to her tricks or Harold in the cupboard, in the safe. You know? One of them's up to their tricks. But it would be interesting. In fact, if we'd done that, I would bring the ring along for you to see.
Ooh, you would take it out?
I would take it out, and I would bring it along for Mark to see. And, you know, it is called the Demon Ring, so...
I don't know. If you two get together, with you with the ring and him with Kara, I see you two taking over the world. Where are the Avengers, damn it?
Oh, dear me. Well, you never know, though. She might be able to bring whatever's in the ring out of the ring.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing an investigation on the 20th in Barnsley, West Yorkshire. We're going to help this young woman. And then on the 25th, I'm in Pendle Hill, you know, in Lancashire.
Oh, yeah.
Which country? So I'm doing an investigation at a pub there with a group called Dark Dreams Paranormal.
Yeah, is this pub anything to do with the Pendle Witches?
Well, it's in the location.
It's in the location.
It's in the Pendle Witch country. Nelson, they call it, the place.
But it's not old enough to be part of being in existence when it was the Pendle Witches.
It's one of the oldest pubs in Bury.
Oh.
It's supposed to be haunted 17th century, something like that. I mean, I don't know too many details about it, but I'm going up there I'm taking Cara up there to meet a few people, so... I
know that the team you work with, we call them, what was their names again?
Soul Reapers.
Soul Reapers.
Yes.
Soul Reapers. Hello, Soul Reapers. I know that they have authenticated Cara, but how do they feel about her actually being in their company when they're doing investigations?
Well, we've only done 3 investigations so far.
And they're quite happy to have her around.
Yeah, I told them they're safe.
Mm.
Just as long as none of them have any malice towards me or anything like that, then they're totally safe.
Yeah.
She's there to help.
What are
That's what I do.
What are certain no-nos that you should never do around Kara?
Show affection to another woman.
No, she's okay. She's okay with stuff like that. She don't seem to get jealous or anything like that. It's just if you have any malice towards me, then she'll let me know. Like I say, she can be naughty sometimes. She has attacked a few people.
Huh.
Mm.
If I find out she's attacking someone, then they've got to tell me right quick, and then I can put a stop to it. So I say, Cara, no, don't do it no more. And then she'll not do it.
So she does obey your instructions, every word, then?
Well, I can't command her to do things like that. I will say, please, don't do it, and then she will hopefully not do it.
Yeah. You don't think that there could be a time when she could get out of hand and you have no control on her?
No, because I got to deal with it easily, so
yeah.
I can't tell you what the deal is.
You have sold your soul to the devil, haven't you?
No, I wouldn't be that. I wouldn't be that silly, Irene.
Your deal is that when you pass over, you will be with her.
She helps me with certain things, and I help her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. So.
Okay, naughty boy. Right.
Actually,
and you're a Boy Scout.
Irene, he's sounding more and more like you every minute.
Right, come on, you've got.
No, just help her. I mean,
What sort of things do you help her with?
You want the honest and truthful answer?
Yes.
Is this going to be aired?
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of the show, and I understand you're reluctant to let that go on the air, so maybe we can talk about that privately off the air. But, Mark, before we go, can you tell people how they can find you, where your YouTube channel is?
I'm on Facebook, Mark Vernon. YouTube, Mark Vernon. Just type it in, Cara, and then they'll find me somewhere.
Yeah.
If they really want it.
Yeah, you're connected to our Facebook pages anyway. So anybody, because Mark Vernon is quite a common name. There's quite a lot of Mark Vernons in the world. Anybody trying to find Mark Vernon, go into the friends list on mine or Mark's page, and you should be able to connect with him through that.
Just look for the good-looking one.
And like Mark says, YouTube, put in the search bar Mark Vernon, and it should come up, because that's how I found it. All right, yeah, the good-looking one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sitting here looking at both your pictures at the moment. Both your pictures, both good-looking. So there you go.
Well, Mark,
better looking than me.
I have to say that because he's got to think for me.
Well, Mark, thank you for being on the show. And again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in for another edition of Paranormal UK Radio. We'll be back next week. Until then, everyone have a great week. Irene, we'll catch you later.
Okay, and where can we be got? Everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay,
All right.
good.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Good night.